Hello everybody and welcome to Wise Warrior's Path. So today I'm going to be talking to you about chemtrails. And also before I start this video, I want to apologize to people for having to come to my channel and always having to hear bad news or something crazy happening with our political situations. But that's why also a lot of people subscribe to this channel, because they're following the current political situations and they're also following different opinions from the mainstream media or the other so-called alternative media that is basically a branch of the mainstream media that is pretending to be for the people and their opinions, but in reality it's just another branch off the mainstream media trying to pump a different agenda down your throat. So when I make these videos, I'm very concerned about what I see. I also share this concern with a lot of other people who are seeing what's happening right now in our nations, and as well as the invasions overseas in the Middle East that is causing a flood of migration into our borders. So there's a lot of things that are happening nowadays, and people are looking for answers. And some of the answers that people are looking for is what's up with chemtrails? What are chemtrails? What's going on with chemtrails? And what are the effects of chemtrails? And the government has went out of its way to tell people, well, the media and the government, because the government's the one doing it and the media is the one telling you that it doesn't exist. So the government has basically went out of its way to stop people from looking into chemtrails, from stopping them from being able to see exactly what's going on with them. They've tried to tell you for years that chemtrails are not a real thing, that they're just contrails. They're getting the public arguing amongst themselves when they look up and they can see that clouds are forming from these supposed contrails that are turning into giant chemical clouds. And there's also a lot of reports that are coming out saying that these clouds are poisonous, that there's a lot of weird stuff in these clouds. And I have talked a lot about chemtrails, not because I'm just looking up and I'm seeing these clouds and I don't like them in the sky. That's part of the reason. But it's what I have researched relating them. It's not just me looking up and sharing the hype of other people. No, it's what I see. If these were just like regular vapor evaporating and it's fighting global warming in order to, let's just say, keep the sun from warming us up too much for whatever the reasons are, that would be a little bit more okay. But it's the kind of stuff that's being pumped. They're supposedly poisons. There's other stuff that's being pumped out with those chemtrails. It's like they're testing us. It's like they're pumping out diseases, pumping out technology, which is like aluminums, little particles that they're like trying to map the region. I don't know, trying to find a new way of doing radar. A lot of other people who are conspiracy theorists saying that this is the mark of the beast. But bottom of the line, what they're pumping up there is poison. And that has really been confirmed. And they're pumping tons of this stuff, I don't know the number, but it's a lot. And it's enough to hurt the environment below, but supposedly this is fighting global warming. Well, it's at the same time destroying the environment below, which what I would think would be causing more global warming, more damage, because you're destroying the natural landscape. And then you're also keeping the sun from reaching the landscape below. And they also do the chemtrails mainly in the spring, the summer, and the fall, or clear days. Or who knows when they do it besides the clear days. They could do it at night, but also you have to map the clouds. You have to be able to catch the sun, or for whatever reason they do it, they have to do it as well during the day, because if you really want to catch the sun and get the clouds up there, you got to map that. You got to find the right times. And often for them, they got to do it during the day while the sun is up, so that they can, catch the sun's direction with the clouds as they expand, because they're not just automatic clouds. These things got to be pumped out, and then what happens that from a straight line that they're pumped out, they look like a contrail, and then they start to spread and become an artificial cloud. So a lot of people may find this complicated to understand, but basically they're pumping poison clouds in the sky, and now, after years of telling people, us, that these things are fake, and these things are not real, these are just conspiracy theories, they're just contrails. Now they're saying that it's for fighting global warming and that they've been doing it for a long time. Obviously, we've known about this for a very long time. We can bet how long we've known it, but when we look up in the sky and begin to ask questions, usually we are told that they're just contrails. But people who observe these things, or just anybody who looks at it, can see clouds forming out of it. Well, they do like zigzag motions, almost like they were to be, writing stuff in the sky. But no, what they're doing is just creating artificial clouds. That's called geoengineering. So you can look up geoengineering, and you're going to find what chemtrails actually are. So I'm not an expert on this stuff, I'm not a professional on this stuff, but what I want you to do right now is look at the video right here, and we're going to begin to take a look at this right here. This is a quick search on Google of chemtrails causing allergies. Now, before I get into this, remember that a lot of people could put hype on here, but if you look at this search very carefully, you're going to see that it's a very well documented thing here. Now you got Chemtrails Syndrome, a global pandemic of epic proportions. Now, we know that this is not natural. This is being caused by our governments or whoever's causing this, but our governments are allowing this to happen, because if there was just random planes or UFO planes spreading chemicals in our sky, they'd be shot down. You know what I'm saying? That's an act of terror, I guess, in modern days, but it's also an act of war. It's an attack. So, you see, that's just to kind of, and that's since 2014. Now, I've already been here, and you're going to see right here, what are the side effects of chemtrails? Okay, so chemtrail poisons have caused, and before we read this, we're going to see Chem Busters, the remedy for chemtrail health problems. And right here, www.chembuster.us, blah blah blah. So you see, I'm not making this stuff up. I didn't just put this together so I can make this video. These are the kind of things that you take a look at and they start to raise concerns. Now, if this wasn't here, you'd have even more concerns, because you're watching stuff being pumped in the sky and no one's telling you why. They keep telling you that they're contrails, but they don't look like contrails. They turn into artificial clouds. So I guess people have known about this for so long, and there's been so many tests, so many things, so many reasons, or different reasons, or different, just basically reasons. We're doing this to test this out, and then the next time that it's done, it's for this and that. So people begin to pick up on it. They begin to know about it. And then when they begin to see it constantly, it's kind of a very hard thing to hide and just call contrails. Especially when people just sit there and watch it. You're with your kids and you watch the plane and the thing's not evaporating like it usually does. What is it doing? Oh, wow, it's turning into a cloud. Well, that's kind of weird. It's a cloud. Wow, isn't that poisonous? So people have to bring out answers. And now I guess people are so desensitized that now there's remedies. Now there's, you know what I'm saying? Now there's like programs or forums that you can go and argue or complain, or let's just say look up certain, allergy medications that you can take that are over the counter or doctor prescribed. You know what I'm saying? And before I begin to read this, I'm just going to ask you guys, how long have humans been on the planet? According to the Bible, since the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? Since God created Earth. But according to science, an extremely long time. Now, according to science, we have evolved since the very first life forms on here. We've been evolving for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? If we really were bacteria and we evolved into humans, then obviously we're going to have a defense for pollens and a lot of allergies and stuff. Now, depending on the modern kind of stuff like cleaning products, we should almost have allergies to the modern stuff that we build because we're not used to it. But luckily for us, we're so strong and resistant that we don't even get allergies for the stuff that we invent or create with chemicals and plastics. But somehow, you know, in the summer, people get sick, they get problems with pollen, and then now it's kind of like normal. But there's also one thing that I'm going to tell you. People have come from places like Russia or Siberia or places, you know, that are not so populated, in certain areas at least, and they complain about coming here to places like North America, the exact same climates, temperatures, exact same plants almost, pollens, everything, and suddenly they're getting sick. Suddenly they're getting irritated, their face, they're getting rashes. That's a serious thing. Haven't you ever thought about that? Haven't you ever thought about how serious that is, kind of? Like, people come from other countries and they complain about getting sick, about having also problems with their media, but apart from that, getting sick. And also the reaction that the food causes, how the food tastes. For countries that like ours that are supposed to be very modern, very strong, you know what I'm saying, very clean, and at the same time as modern, strong, and clean, that cleanness comes from how good our land is still. It's not supposed to be that polluted. It's not like places in China, you know, thank God. And as well as, you know, we hope that those people out there as well can have, you know, better times, see less pollution. The whole earth see less pollution. But when people start having complaints like that, like they come to our countries and they start complaining about the food, the media, it's just weird. It's just, it's starting to hurt people. Like, they're complaining about not being able to properly breathe because of, like, the allergies, not being able to go places, and then they got to take these allergy medications, you know, and already the people that are here and they're used to it, you got to take allergy medications. You can't go here in the spring, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's weird. And the doctors, you know, I'm sure they're concerned, but for them, it's, you know, it's more jobs, right? You know, more reasons to create medications. You know, so these chemtrails are supposedly here fighting global warming, and this is what you can look up. This is what they cause. People who ask, what are the side effects of chemtrails? And we go right here. Chemtrails poisons have caused respiratory problems and acute respiratory distress. Wow, that's pretty serious, right? Chronic fatigue and flu-like symptoms. Ooh, wow, that's serious. Chronic headaches and allergies. Wow. Fibromyalgia, sorry if I didn't read that right, but that thing, and chronic pain, you know, that's another side effect. Wow. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 already. Mental and emotional problems. I'm sure that comes from the people who are also concerned about these things, watching them in the sky. But if that's being caused by breathing these things in, just mental and emotional problems, that's what's been known, that's very serious. Immune system depletion. Wow, you might as well have AIDS, right? Mysterious, debilitating, and uncurable health problems. Are you serious? And here, Chembusters is the remedy for chemtrail health problems. Can you believe that? www.chembuster.us with a slash there. Can you believe that? So, like, I'm not going to click that link there. You can click it. You can look this up right here and you can see it for yourself. What is the chemtrails? Contrails or condensation trails are streaks of condensed water vapor created in the air by an airplane or rocket at high altitudes. They are the result of normal emissions of water vapor from piston and jet engines at high altitudes, in which the water vapor condenses into visible clouds. So you see, that, in a way, that on the bottom, the visible cloud part, is a little bit deceiving. I would say that they just create streaks of vapor, of condensation, or just the let off the engine, if that's even true what they're saying. But the let off of the engine, it's a streak. It doesn't turn into giant clouds or, you know what I'm saying, even little clouds, actually it disappears. So as the plane gets further, it's almost like the end of it starts to disappear, almost as the plane goes further, and as the thing has been lingering there for a long time, it disappears. It doesn't turn into clouds. Chemtrails, or what is known as chemtrails, are the things that do that. So you see, already there's like two different things here. You know, the problems caused by chemtrails, and then you see all this crap right here. And on the bottom, supposedly, it's just a normal thing. It's just water vapor. Water vapor that causes all this. So you see, these are different answers. And this is Chemtrail Conspiracy Theory Wikipedia, which is dismissing chemtrails. So already the government's telling us that yes, and the media now is saying, yes, we are releasing this, but here it's a conspiracy theory. Those are different answers already. Already you're already seeing the landmine of it, of stepping into a bomb where you're here, you got the information, everything's good, and then boom, a bomb. Oh, you're wrong, it's a conspiracy theory. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Right there, it's a trap. You know what I'm saying? You can't go any further. Oh my god, you're a nut. No, but then on the very top of that same freaking list, they're telling you everything that's caused and all the remedies and all the things. So you see, now that's Wikipedia. Now let's see, what are the ingredients in chemtrails? Okay, independent testing over the past decades confirms that chemtrails around the country contain a dangerous and extremely poisonous mix of chemicals that include barium, nano-aluminum coated fiberglass known as SHAF or CHAFF, and as well radioactive thorium. Oh wow, there's Thor. And then cadmium, what the fuck? And then chromium, nickel, and disassisted blah 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 blah, blood, the fuck, mold, spores, yellow fungi, and etc etc. If you think these are just contrails, think again. So I guess this is like a little list that Google has kind of concocted here for the most asked questions people also ask. And then they got the list and the people's advertisement, and I guess who pays more for the advertisement. I don't know how this works. I guess it's for who's more popular. It's like YouTube, what's more popular. But you got to think about it. Everything's being censored nowadays, and then this stuff is out here. So some stuff is allowed to be shown, like this. You know what I'm saying? Other stuff like this, oh, it's a freaking conspiracy theory. So they're selling it, making fun of you, and at the same time selling it as this. You know, come visit here. So www.collectiveevolution.com. Geoengineering chemtrails. What in the world are they? Okay, so basically, this is what independent testing over the past decades confirms, I guess. So we got to understand that with all this fact checker and Google supposedly censoring everything, as well as Facebook and as well as YouTube, and that is true, they are doing that, then a lot of this stuff shouldn't be here, but it is. So obviously they understand the information that they're giving out to people, and as well the kind of stuff that's out there and the kind of people that are focused on this kind of stuff. And yeah, it's out there. And at the same time, this conspiracy theory part really throws you off, but look at everything else that's here. Basically selling it, selling the fear of it. But then at the same time, there's the proof also, because people are coming from other countries and they're having allergy problems. And then look at this. Okay, I've already seen documentaries on this kind of stuff. I've already seen the reports, the independent tests. So this is backed up. And also this stuff that's being caused here, I'm not very sure about it, but I am very suspicious about the allergies and everything that I'm seeing. So, you know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm seeing. This is what I see, you know what I'm saying, in my mind when I put all this stuff together. It's beyond just a little bit more than conspiracy theory here. This is real. This is happening. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at as well as genetically modified food, that's happening as well. You look at the rats that have the tumors and all that stuff, that's true. That is a reality. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention so you guys can see it for what it is. Begin to research it. Like, think about it. Like if people start sneezing, I know it's an everyday thing for different people, I guess, more than others. But for humans in general, sneezing is an everyday thing. Not like just me and you, I got it every day, like out of nowhere. But it's an everyday thing in the human population. Every day you're going to get a good amount of the population sneezing for whatever reason, dust or whatever. But we also react to things with our nose and our eyes and everything in our skin when there's danger around. When you start to sneeze uncontrollably, it's basically telling you that you have to leave the area. There's danger. You're getting sick. Something is infiltrating you in a way that it shouldn't. You know, so dust is very sudden and it gets clogged up in there, but you can get used to it. You can begin to breathe through it and eventually you kind of stop sneezing. But there's that moment that it hits you and you begin to sneeze. So it's almost like a reaction. Oh, there's dust. You know, breathe more slowly, be careful, take a closer look, or leave the area. You know what I'm saying? Until the dust settles. But when it comes to sneezing and reacting very violently to something that shouldn't be there and you can't escape it, it's going to begin to cause problems in your face, on your skin, or how allergies get you. For some people, allergies are very deadly. They're fatal if they don't get treatment for them right away. But for like the typical allergies, people don't really pay attention to them. They kind of try to pull through or they try to stay inside. But what if those allergies are being caused by these chemtrails? Or also what's in our food? Because they're testing stuff, they're turning off our genes, and you got to remember the amount of tax that we pay so that we can maintain our health care in certain countries, our roads, our policing, everything. And our governments are already known with current events to cause a lot of false flags, to cause a lot of things that shouldn't be caused, in order for them to get the excuse to impose themselves more in our lives. It's almost like bureaucracy meets the need of the expanding bureaucracy. It's not meeting the needs of the people, it's meeting the needs of itself. So it expands on itself by expanding with itself, by causing the situation so that it can bring itself in and fix it. So basically it's just focusing on itself. And that's what our governments have been doing for a while. And our media is showing it. It's showing that our governments are doing whatever they want. And they're spreading these poisons in our skies. This is clear that they are poison. You know, like fishes in entire ponds, lakes, like we were seeing the news just last year, just dying out, entire populations for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just for nothing. More sudden than other years. Or at least it seemed that way. But there's been a lot of reports of a lot of creepy stuff, and they're talking about global warming and this and that. So I'm starting to guess that global warming is real, but at the same time they're exaggerating it, or they're causing it. You know, they're just exaggerating the story of global warming in order to impose tax on us, in order to get the excuse to put these chemtrails in the sky. And what if these chemtrails are getting people sick? We already know that the vaccinations also are giving kids autism. And then other people are saying that no, you can't link up to autism. While other countries, and even here in our countries, are doing tests, independent tests. And our governments are trying to block those tests. And at the same time, our governments are invading. They're doing a lot of negative things. They're hurting a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So maybe there's a lot of you who may watch these videos and may feel pissed because some of you are pilots. Some of your family members are pilots. Some of you work for the government. Some of you are in social services. Some of you are doctors. Some of you maybe even make medications. Maybe even sell allergens. Maybe even are into herbal therapy or whatever for allergies. You know, what if we don't need this stuff? We don't want this industry. We don't want people causing sicknesses and invasions. Is that okay? Like, is there someone that we need to talk to say stop putting these chemtrails in the sky? Let's find a different way to reduce global warming. You know, for one, stop bombing the shit out of the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? Destroying it completely. You know what I'm saying? For two, start investing in that proper energy that you've been holding back because you're making so much money on all those fossil fuels, while at the same time you're destroying basically our planet because you're drilling here, doing this, taking away from that. You know, probably causing earthquakes and a lot of crap that shouldn't be caused. And now you got this geoengineering. You know what I'm saying? Zika has been traced to be a patented virus that's basically being unleashed as a weapon. You know, Ebola, a lot of the origins of these diseases. And so you got to ask yourself, what are these chemtrails? What is the quickest way to get a human population sick? Chemtrails. Now, before I end this video, because this is just me like sharing stuff with you, I'm going to ask you, when you watch, I'm going to make a video on this separately, but I just want to get you thinking about this. Zombies. You know what I'm saying? Apart from all this conspiracy theory crap, and on top of what's really happening, what I'm really talking about here, poisons in the sky, we're eating. Let's get into the conspiracy theory of zombies, which they're not conspiracy theories. Zombies are everywhere, right? You know, we shoot them all the time in video games. We got them all in the culture now. You know, in the media culture. Zombies, ooh, crazy. Halloween zombies. Who do you think those zombies are? When you're playing Call of Duty and you're shooting these things in the face and stabbing them and grenading them, you know, these enemies of yours, you know, young kids playing these video games, who do you think those zombies are? Do you think that they're just like lab created things? Those are your parents. Those are you guys. Those are your communities. You know, when you play zombies and you hear the dun 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 dun, you know that level where you're playing in that town, you know, in the diner or whatever. You know, like whose culture do you think that is? That has been destroyed. And who do you think those people are shooting in the face? They're regular people who have been infected by some sort of virus. You know what I'm saying? Those are human beings. That's what the game is portraying. That's what zombies are. Basically, they're you, me and you. They're human beings that are dying, that are being destroyed, that are decayed. And what do you think is the result of being a zombie? You become stronger, you descend to the next level, you go to heaven or some shit. You die. Be very careful as well with what you're learning on the media. This is what I mean by the media or food, these chemtrails or whatever it is, and the invasions. Are you able to defend yourself against these things? Be aware. Educate your family. Apparently not. Because this stuff keeps happening. And now we got people making businesses off what kind of remedies we can find. How to combat this stuff. What petition to sign. Which charity to donate to. Just wake the fuck up. Excuse my swearing. I try not to swear in this particular video, but please take a look at it. Okay? So if you found what I'm saying nonsense, you know, the sky's falling, conspiracy theory, oh, I'm sorry. But just take a look at that, please. You know, like you see that stuff that's here in front of my screen? See that stuff that's in front of your screen right there? See that stuff? You know, keep looking at it. There's more lists. Look at all those chemicals, all those ingredients, see what they cause. Alright, so for Wise Warriors Path, subscribe. Let's see if we can make these channels last. Because what happens when they're shutting down people's ability to share these things because it's offensive or politically offensive or not politically correct? You're not being able to properly defend yourself and share. Defend your ability to express yourself and be able to share and learn properly without being lied to. Am I lying to you? No, I see what's in front of me right there and I'm sharing with you. Till next time, take care and goodbye.